Well, it has certainly been a while since we've talked about a Nintendo Direct and theories and predictions about a possible Nintendo Direct. And with so much discussion about a September Direct probably happening this month, I felt like today was obviously the day to do that. Now, I know that around this time of year, it can get kind of annoying or overwhelming to see every YouTuber under the sun making a video and a discussion and a predictions and a theory video about a Nintendo Direct, especially before one has even been officially announced. But like I said in my last video, I've kind of been shying away from doing some of this stuff the past couple of months. And honestly, I just sort of want to do this, right? I mean, there's possibly a Nintendo Direct happening this month. It's hard not to get excited about it. It's fun to discuss these things. Like I said, it has not officially been announced, so we're not talking about a real Direct. We're just having fun today. We're just killing some time and discussing some theories and predictions I would have for a theoretical Direct that would happen in September. One quick bit of housekeeping I wanted to go over before we dive into this topic, which is that I have finally officially beaten this bad boy. Like I keep saying, after 11 years, this game is finally a reality. I did just complete it yesterday. I have a ton of thoughts. I will make a video this week about my impressions and kind of make a review. About No More Heroes 3, I won't spoil too much. I'll just say it's awesome. It's a great game. In many ways, it's everything I wanted it to be. There's a couple of things that I might discuss on the not so awesome side, but big picture, loved this game. So happy it exists. And so, yeah, you can look forward this next week to me making a video reviewing the game. Before we dive any deeper into the Nintendo Direct topic today, I like to always remind you guys that I am always trying to grow the channel here on Rule of Two Review. I upload videos every single week. I cover all things Nintendo, I cover all things Metroid, and I discuss all things gaming. So as you watch this video, if you seem to like what I'm doing and what you hear, then I hope you will consider subscribing to the channel. So yeah, like I said, it's Nintendo Direct time. I'm falling into that same YouTuber trap of just making a video about Nintendo Direct theories and predictions. But given that it is September, and like we've discussed, over the past 5 or 6 years, every single September, Nintendo has traditionally held a Nintendo Direct, I obviously think it's time to discuss it because I do believe, right alongside most people, that we will be seeing a show this month. Now, right out of the gate, I do want to address the Metroid situation, and I do feel that in the month of September, which is now officially the 1-month countdown until Metroid Dread actually releases, which is so crazy. I am so excited for another week of PTO to just be able to sit down and just play that game nonstop like my life depends on it. And because we're the month before the game releases, I do think that in September, Nintendo will probably make one more final big push and a larger scale addressing of Metroid Dread and something to kind of hype up the game or even hype up the franchise. And I think that that could come in two ways. And I'm talking about outside of Dread Report updates, because we know they're doing the Dread Reports. But I also think that there's a chance that they either hold some sort of Metroid-specific kind of presentation video thing that's either entirely focused on Metroid Dread or maybe is a little bit of a Metroid Direct to a degree, and maybe they touch on Metroid Prime 4 and even a Prime Trilogy and stuff like that. Maybe they confirm, older Metroid games coming to the Switch. Or, as the video would suggest, it might just show up in this Nintendo Direct that would theoretically happen in September. Maybe they give us one last little 30-second to 1 minute long teaser and address one kind of final detail about the game that they're comfortable sharing before the game launches. In some way, shape, or form, if there is a Nintendo Direct in September, I think it is like 95% chance we're going to see Metroid Dread addressed in some way. Now, again, if they have a separate presentation or a separate 5-minute kind of recap video of the game in September, that would change things. But if they don't do that, I think, yeah, we'll probably see Metroid touched on in some way. One of the other few big first-party games we know Nintendo is currently making is Splatoon 3. And I think that since we're coming up to the end of the year, we're in the last 4 or 5 months of the year, I feel like there is a great chance in this Direct, if it happens in September, there's a good chance it's the last Direct for the year, and we know Splatoon 3 is coming out next year. Many of us expect it to be a Q1 kind of release. And if that's true, then I think that in this last Direct of the year, Nintendo would probably touch on the game, share a new trailer, talk about some gameplay, some sort of updates, including a probable release date. Especially if it's Q1 of the year, like I personally suspect it is. I think Nintendo would give us that date, February, March, whatever it is, in this theoretical September Direct. I would love to see updates on gameplay, some kind of explanation of whatever that single player mode is that they hinted at the reveal trailer, like what's going on with that kind of stuff. She's got a bow and arrow. It almost makes it seem like there's some kind of RPG element or something to it. Whatever it is, I hope that they would touch on that, and I would love to see a release date. Again, especially if it is a Q1 or Q2 release. Basically, first half of 22, which is when I think it would release. I'd love to finally get that date. So I think there's a darned good chance we're going to see and hear from Splatoon 3 in this Direct. I think it's worth talking about Zelda for a quick second, because ultimately, I'm not really expecting anything on Breath of the Wild 2. Could they talk about like the DLC for Hyrule Warriors or some sort of other weird random surprise like spin-off small Zelda game? Maybe, but as far as Breath of the Wild 2, the game we're really waiting on, I don't personally expect to hear from that game at the show. I could be wrong. I'd love to be wrong. I want everything I can possibly know about this game. I'm so excited. But if I was going to put money on it, I don't think this is the time to hear any significant updates on Breath of the Wild 2. Not yet. Probably sometime early in 2022. Now, something a lot of people have been talking about that I've yet to really address on the channel is what's going on with Monolith Soft, their possible new Xenoblade game that's been kind of doing the rumor circuit the past couple of months, and the fact that this upcoming week they have one day where their website is scheduled to go down for some maintenance, and because of that, everyone thinks it ties into Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and also a Nintendo Direct, that they would all kind of happen around the same time, and that the website would go down for maintenance so that they could, in theory, update it and relaunch it the following day after the maintenance is over with a whole new branding and a whole new look for whatever their new game announcement is going to be. Again, most of us thinking it's going to be some kind of new Xenoblade game. I love the idea of this. We know Monolith has been cranking away at something behind the scenes for a couple of years. They've been hiring like crazy. You guys, many of you probably know, I'm not a big RPG or JRPG guy, but I do love the Xenoblade games. So the idea of a new Xenoblade game coming out on the Switch is so exciting. Yeah, a Xenoblade Chronicles X port would be cool. I think it would be a downgrade because we're going to lose the dual screen gameplay of the gamepad. But it would certainly be nice, I guess, to see that game get a second chance at life. More than anything, I just want a new game. Whether it's like another Xenoblade Chronicles X kind of spin-off, or if it's even a Xenoblade Chronicles 2, whatever they would do there, I would love to see it be real. I think that with the maintenance going this week, yeah, there's a chance they're going to update it to rebrand for a new game announcement. And when is the perfect time to announce a new game? It's obviously at a Nintendo Direct, so maybe that even means the Direct happens this upcoming week. There's a lot of kind of stuff circling around this whole Monolith Soft thing and the updating of their website and the Nintendo Direct, the rumors about a new Xenoblade. I mean, there's a lot going on there, so yeah, if there's a Direct this month, I think there's a great chance we're going to hear about Monolith's new game. Of course, what would a new Nintendo Direct be without the announcement of a new Smash Bros. DLC character? And in this case, it's an extra big deal because, as we know, it would be the final Smash DLC character. There is almost no doubt in my mind that if a Direct happens this month, or whatever the next Direct is, I don't care if it's 3 months from now, whenever the next Direct happens, they're going to show us the final Smash DLC character. Which is bittersweet, I think, because, it's been a fun ride this whole time. Smash Ultimate is fantastic. The DLC roster, for the most part, has been fantastic. There's been a couple of duds for me personally, but overall, it's been great. They've got great characters in this game. It's insane to think that it would be coming to an end with this next reveal. Who or what would it be? Man, I don't know. There's 1,000 guesses out there. I mean, yeah, we all think Crash Bandicoot has a great chance of showing up. I would be okay with that. I personally hope that it's a Nintendo character. I think the best way to end Smash Ultimate is with the first-party Nintendo character in some way, but tough to say until we officially know, but I'm just going to say 99.9% chance the next Direct, September or otherwise, it's going to give us the last Smash DLC character. Of course, the big conversation the past week has also been this whole thing about Game Boy or Game Boy Advance games coming to the Switch. My last video was about that. A couple of weeks ago, I made a video kind of touching on that as well. And now this weekend, it's become a bigger conversation, and everyone and their mother thinks that it's finally time. Game Boy games are coming. It's in the rumor mill. It's in the leak cycle, all that stuff. And yeah, like I said in my last video this week, yeah, I kind of think it's time for that to happen. I think there's a great chance that there's some truth to it. And if Game Boy games are coming, I think a Nintendo Direct is a great time to announce it. Now, they don't have to announce the Game Boy games coming to Switch Online in a Nintendo Direct, but I think that there's a great chance that it will. Like I said in my last video, I'm 50-50 on it. 50% chance in the Direct, 50% chance in its own separate announcement, and I'm sticking to that. So 50% is still a pretty high chance, and so maybe we see Game Boy games in this Direct. Of course, the most exciting prospect to any Nintendo Direct is a possible brand new game, especially from Nintendo, a new first-party Nintendo announcement. That does happen, I think, more often than not in most Directs, especially in the broader traditional Nintendo Directs that cover a wide range of higher profile games. We're not talking about indie Directs or Direct Minis or partner presentations or any of that stuff. In a traditional Direct, it's pretty common to get some kind of new game announcement. And so if I was to wager a guess on a possible new game showing up in this Direct, it's going to be me keeping my flag firmly planted in the same sand it's been in for probably close to 3 years now. As foolish as it sounds, I'm going to stick to this until it never happens, and it's Pikmin 4. I don't know what to tell you guys, man. I know it's been a couple of years going, but I just really believe that Pikmin 4 is a game being made. I think at any given time, we're right on the cusp of that game being announced and shown. And even though I probably should have long moved on from Pikmin 4, I just can't do it. Maybe the pandemic changed things, maybe the Switch or the Switch OLED or the next-gen console has changed things around, whatever. But man, I just believe that game is real. And so no matter how foolish I continue to make myself sound, I'm going to keep believing that Pikmin 4 is a real game that will get announced. And so yeah, we're going to talk about Nintendo Direct predictions for right now, September 2021. I'm going to keep saying I think Pikmin 4 is a game that could show up. So yeah, it's my wild card new game prediction for this September, Pikmin 4. And so now at the end, I'm going to really put myself out there and make my big, bold prediction for the Direct. And remember, it's a bold prediction. So by definition, a bold prediction is something that probably doesn't have a great chance of happening and something that most people wouldn't agree with, okay? So it's bold for that reason, so don't go calling me crazy for saying this. I'm telling you beforehand it's a bold prediction. And that prediction is an update on Bayonetta 3. Maybe this is the time in the last quarter of the year, well, maybe the last half of the year, before 2022 finally creeps up on us. I don't think Bayonetta 3 is coming out this year. I don't even necessarily think we're going to get a full 2-minute trailer. But would we get some kind of update and maybe a short tease of gameplay? Yeah, I think that coming up on the last 4 months of the year that there is a chance we might actually see Bayonetta 3 talked about or shown in some way. I mean, the year started off with an update from Kamiya telling people to just calm their expectations about Bayonetta 3. Forget the game is even being developed, so you can just be surprised when it shows up again, and all sorts of weird, kind of frustrating nonsense that I don't think most of us really appreciated hearing at that time. Because the whole situation around Bayonetta 3 and the mystery and the length and development, it is, like I said, it is kind of frustrating. Obviously, we want them to take whatever time they need to make the best game possible, but to have announced that game almost 4 years ago and given no updates on it similar to Metroid Prime 4, it's like, what the hell's going on, man? Even if you restarted development, I mean, talk about it or show something. Telling people to just forget about it and be excited for it later, I don't know. It just kind of rubbed a lot of us the wrong way, and it takes a lot to make me feel that way, but I didn't love Kamiya's quotes about Bayonetta at the beginning of this year. However, that is how we started off the year, and as we have this year begin to come to a close, last Direct of the year possibly, yeah, maybe let's get that Bayonetta 3 update, man. I know it's crazy, it's a wild, bold, out there prediction, probably won't happen, but I want to believe. just like with Pikmin 4, man, I'm trying to just be an optimistic guy. I am an optimistic guy when it comes to gaming. And so, you know, I don't know, fingers crossed we actually see or hear from Bayonetta 3 in a direct this month. And so, yeah, outside of that, I think I expect all the same normal stuff a lot of you guys do as well. A couple of random indie game announcements, probably some small updates on like Advance Wars and WarioWare and some other games we know are kind of being developed. Smaller tier kind of stuff. The Brain Age game was just announced, so they probably will talk about that. There's a Mario Party game of some kind coming out soon. You know, stuff I don't really follow. Pokemon. So yeah, they'll do some of those things as well. But as far as like my more solid predictions, this is pretty much my list, you know. I'd love to see Zelda, but I don't expect it. I think Metroid Dread, Splatoon 3, hopefully Pikmin 4, we're getting that Smash character, all that fun stuff. So, yeah, with any luck, it actually does happen. I mean, I can't imagine September is going to come and go without a Direct, but you never know. I do think it's going to happen, though. I think most of you guys do as well. So, what do you think about my predictions and thoughts about what could happen in a theoretical Direct this month? And of course, what do you want to happen? What do you expect to happen? What are your thoughts and desires for a show in September? Whatever you think, talk about it below. And with that, this video is a wrap. Thanks, of course, as always, for tuning in, guys. This is Rob of Rule of Two Review, and I'll catch you next time on another video.